Premier League Brentford vs Luton Town prediction, team news, lineups preview. 1 week on from claiming their first ever Premier League home win, Luton Town returned to the road to meet Brentford at the Gtech Community Stadium on Saturday afternoon. The Hatters ran out 2-1 victors over Crystal Palace in front of a buoyant Kenilworth Road crowd last time out, while the Bees' efforts were futile in a 1-0 loss to London rivals Arsenal. Match preview. Failure to capitalise on a pair of Aaron Ramsdale blunders would come back to bite Brentford in their showdown with the Gunners last Saturday, where Mikel Arteta's men were indebted to all of Declan Rice, Oleksandr Zinchenko and Kai Havertz in the capital clash. After Rice and Zinchenko produced phenomenal goal-line clearances to deny Brian Bumo and Neil Maupay respectively, Havertz did exactly what he was brought off the bench to do, latching onto Bukayo Saka's cross to the back post and heading home through the legs of Mark Flecken in the 89th minute. Failing to score in a Premier League home game for the first time in 2023 and the third time overall, having also been shut out by Arsenal in the EFL Cup and West Ham United in the FA Cup, Brentford lost their grip on a top-half spot in the table and occupy 11th place with a third of the season gone, albeit only behind local foes Chelsea on goal difference. With the Blues not in action until they meet Brighton Hove Albion on Sunday, Brentford will sneak back into the top 10 if they can avoid a third successive Premier League loss this weekend. Having also drawn a blank in a 3-0 defeat to Liverpool, but only 2 of their 8 home games so far this term have ended in victory. Furthermore, Arsenal's shutout at the Gtech Community Stadium last weekend ended the Bees' 19-game Premier League scoring streak in front of their own fans. But not since the Bees' days in the doldrums of League One in 2011-12 have they suffered 3 successive league losses without scoring in any of them. A goal worthy of winning any Premier League game flew past Luton number 1 Thomas Kaminski during the Hatters' clash with Palace last weekend, as only 2 minutes after Teden Mengi's opener, Michael Ollis embarked on a magnificent solo run before finding the top corner with panache. However, Palace were on level terms for all of 9 minutes as Jacob Brown met Chidozie Ogbene's cross to deliver a maiden home win in the 2023-24 Premier League season. And to rub salt into Ollis' wounds, the Frenchman's goal of the weekend prize was ripped from his grasp by Alejandro Garnacho 24 hours later. Not since the First Division's farewell season in 1991-92 had Luton come up trumps in a top-flight fixture at Kenilworth Road, where their beating of Palace marked just their second league win of the campaign almost 2 months on from sinking Everton at Goodison Park, by snapping a run of 6 matches without victory in the division. Rob Edwards' men kept their heads above water and will not drop any lower than 17th place no matter what transpires over the weekend, as 18th placed Sheffield United have a 4-point gap to make up to their fellow promotes. Ollis' wonder strike last weekend means that Luton are still waiting for their first clean sheet of the season in any competition, though, and the Hatters have been beaten in 5 of their last 6 meetings with Brentford, who won 1-0 in a January 2021 championship battle thanks to a Simon Gatto's strike. Team news. Brentford's cause against Arsenal was not aided by a pair of fresh injury concerns before the contest, as Matthias Jensen and Mads Roerslev both picked up knocks leading up to the match. The former has not been past fit, but Roerslev is in contention to play again. Nathan Collins ankle, Rico Henry knee, Aaron Hickey thigh, Kevin Shade groin and Josh De Silva thigh are all expected to remain absent alongside Ivan Toney, who will soon enter the final 6 weeks of his lengthy suspension. But Mikkel Damsgaard completed 45 minutes of a behind-closed-doors friendly this week and might be in contention to play. With Jensen and Roerslev on course to be fit, full Premier League debutant Jaeger Yarmoliuk and the seldom-seen Gattos should drop out. And a potential switch to a 4-man back line would benefit Maupay's chances of a recall to the attack. While Palace saw both Ebereki Eze and Sheikh Dukor come off injured in their loss to Luton, the Hatters did not sustain any fresh concerns, but Edwards' medical team will still need to conduct checks on a couple of stricken players. Issa Kabor will return from concussion protocol, but there remains a question mark over Marvelous Nakambani, while Collie Woodrow Calf, Albert Sambi Lokonga thigh, Reece Burke thigh, Mads Anderson thigh and Dan Potts ankle will likely return later in December. Cabore's return to fitness would give Edwards a healthy selection dilemma out wide, where Alfie Doughty and Amari Bell lined up from the off against Palace, while Brown is threatening to take Andros Townsend's place in the final third after his match-winning contribution off the bench last weekend. Brentford possible starting lineup: Flecken, Ajur, Mee, Pinnock, Rorslev, Norgard, Janald, Onika, Mbumo, Maupay, Wissa. Luton Town possible starting lineup: Kaminski, Menji, Osho, Lockyer, Doughty, Panzu, Barkley, Bell, Ogbene, Morris, Brown. We say, Brentford 2-0 Luton Town. For 89 minutes of Brentford's clash with Arsenal, Thomas Frank's side maintained a marvellous defensive structure. And only a lack of a cutting edge at the other end of the field denied them at least a point against the league leaders. Morale may be higher in the Luton camp after their historic feats last weekend. But the Hatters' defence should not emerge unscathed from Saturday's meeting in the capital, where Brentford ought to return to winning ways in professional fashion. Thanks for your watching. Don't forget to click the subscribed button and hit the bell icon for more.